got a solid update on next steps. Sinking our money into things that do not have a high chance just isn't our interest. But also, it's the fear of not being taken seriously. My anxiety specifically is clinging to the egg retrieval. And exactly what I want to discuss going into that appointment. It makes me very uneasy. I feel like I'm gonna tear up right now. Hello everybody, it is Dingle here and welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing super duper well. And today's Thursday, happy Thursday. It's kind of a weird end to my week because normally today is stream day. If you didn't know, I stream on Twitch twice a week. If you like The Sims or Stardew Valley or Among Us or anything kind of cozy like that. Not that Among Us is cozy, but it's fun. My Twitch channel is always linked down below in case you ever want to come hang out with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So normally today would be a stream day, but this week we are doing what we call Dingle After Dark on Friday. By the time you see this vlog, it'll already have happened, but occasionally we do a Dingle After Dark because I stream at like 3:30 p.m. EST. The stream starts then, and then we end around like 6 or so for dinner time. So what Dingle After Dark is usually on a Friday or Saturday, and we actually start at dinner and kind of go into the night. Now we've got our beveraginos on stream. Sometimes it's Truly, sometimes it's a cold brew. You guys let me know what you're drinking, whether it's alcoholic or not. We hang out, we eat dinner together, and we get to talking about things that we normally wouldn't talk about during the day streams because it kind of goes into the night. We see where the stream takes us. We either just keep on chatting or we end up doing BuzzFeed quizzes. Those are so much fun to do together on stream. But then tomorrow night, we're playing The Sims 2 on stream. It was so much. There was so many steps to get The Sims 2 onto the PC, but there is this like gem of a human that made this doc, this Google Doc of these step-by-step instructions on where to download, how to get it on there safely. And so we got it, and I'm so excited. The nostalgia of playing The Sims 2 tomorrow is going to be so awesome. But anyway, with all that said, I digress. Tomorrow I'm also going to be gone for most of the day. My mom and I are going to visit my cousin who had a baby a couple months ago. At least I think it was a couple months ago. Time honestly goes by so fast, and we've yet to meet her. I grew up with this cousin. Like, there are so many pictures of us together growing up, and so to meet her baby is going to be so special. I'm so pumped. Oh my gosh, her baby is literally so cute. I die at her pictures. I'm so excited to meet her. So we're gonna go over, we're gonna bring lunch, we're gonna hang out, catch up, meet the baby, and then come back home and we're gonna do Dingle After Dark. So my days are kind of switched a little bit. It's also why I'm in my gym outfit, because I'm not gonna be able to go to the gym tomorrow, so I'm going to the gym today. Not that this is necessarily just a gym outfit. I feel like leggings and a top is just very typical wear no matter if I'm going to the gym or not. But I wanted to start this vlog off with one, apparently a life update. Didn't realize I would ramble on that for so long. But two, we've got a solid update on next steps as far as our fertility journey goes. If you are new and you do not know, my husband and I have been trying to grow our family for 2 years and have been diagnosed with unexplained infertility. It's been so fun. I have an entire playlist on our journey, including a video that does an overview basically of up to January, and then vlogs of our experiences and treatments going from there, so I will be sure to link that down below in case you want to binge it. But the last vlog you saw us talking about it, we gave you guys an update on how we were feeling after our third failed IUI. That vlog was filmed about a week later, so our feelings have sunken in. We also have booked a fun trip, a fun getaway, so we're just feeling overall optimistic and just in a better headspace. But I think in that vlog we mentioned that we do have a follow-up with our doctor, but I don't think I gave you a solid idea of when that is and exactly what I want to discuss going into that appointment. And I thought it would be helpful to share for anyone else who goes into follow-up appointments and maybe there are questions that you didn't necessarily know you wanted to ask. These are the questions that I'm going to ask after 3 failed IUIs and into potentially IVF, but that's what the follow-up is for, to discuss those options. That follow-up, my friends, I'm filming this on Thursday. That follow-up is Monday. So by the time you guys see this vlog, our follow-up is tomorrow when you're seeing this vlog. So send good vibes. It's not a procedure or anything necessarily like that, but for some reason I get a lot of anxiety surrounding follow-up appointments or just like discussions with my doctor, and it is at no fault of this doctor whatsoever. He has shown us nothing but understanding and compassion and humor through this thing. Whenever I actually enter the office and we sit down and we start talking to him, like, it's just, he's such a calming presence. So it's not him, it's me. I think overall the anxiety around follow-ups is, one, making sure that I get to ask all of the questions that I want to, and writing them down really helps, so they're just not swirling around in my head and I'm not thinking that I might forget them, because I can literally go in with a list. But also it's the fear of not being taken seriously when it comes to my questions or even my concerns. This has only ever happened to me, I would say, once by a doctor I saw years ago for what actually happened to be a deathly allergy to ibuprofen. So that was really fun to be shaken off for what ultimately ended up being that. But that experience was enough for me to constantly think that my doctors are not going to be hearing me, to think that they're just there to rush me out of the room and tell me that everything I'm experiencing is normal and I have nothing to worry about. But as you guys have seen throughout this entire journey in our vlogs about follow-ups and procedures and everything like that, my confidence each time going into something, as far as asking my questions or standing up for myself, increases at every appointment, really, because I have never been met with anything but, yeah, that's a really good question, or absolutely, we can add that on, you know, things like that. I've been really fortunate with really kind doctors. We've been really fortunate as far as our doctor and as far as the nurses that we interact with. But if you know anything about anxiety, true anxiety, not just worried about going into an appointment, I'm talking true waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and not being able to sleep for the rest of the night anxiety, you know that it has us cling to things that aren't necessarily rooted in the reality that you are in right now. Yes, I had that experience before, but there is nothing that tells me that my doctor or my nurses will not listen to me in this instance. Anxiety is so much fun. And I think that's overall why I get anxious going into these appointments, but that's something that I can definitely work through. But there are two specific things. I think someone is outside that door listening to what I'm saying. I'm moving. Like, I keep hearing them like running up and down the like basement stairs or something. And I opened the door to see if I could see anyone, and I just think that they're like close by. I keep hearing them outside. The lighting in here is so sucky in the afternoon. Let's go to the bedroom. Okay. The front of our apartment gets such pretty light in the morning, but I'm usually not vlogging like first thing in the morning, so you guys rarely kind of get to see that. And then in the afternoon it switches to the back of the apartment, so the office gets such pretty lighting and the bedroom typically gets good lighting, but we're kind of just in between. Anyway, let's keep talking. So as I was saying, there are two specific things that I am extremely anxious about. I'm definitely going to ask about them, but I'm anxious to ask about them because of my fear of not being taken seriously, but I just wanted to share them with you in case you guys are also anxious about these things, depending on where you're at in your journey, or if you have positive things to share about your own experiences about the two things that I am anxious about. Things that I am anxious about are surrounding the procedure of the egg retrieval. Because although we have realistically not even talked to him about IVF, we know it's the next step. He might suggest some other things to try, but at this point, sinking our money into things that do not have a high chance, such as another IUI, just isn't our interest. If we know that more than likely at this point that we would end up at IVF anyway, let's get this ball rolling, you know? But although I have watched so many videos on women's experiences with IVF and the procedures surrounding that, as well as people I've gotten to know on Instagram and TikTok and them sharing their experiences and answering our questions, there's still just so much fear of the unknown, and my anxiety specifically is clinging to the egg retrieval. Just real quick, if you do not know anything about IVF, what they do is they stimulate a lot of eggs growing in your ovaries. And so usually it's like 1 to 2, but they're looking to get as many as possible. Some women get like 20 to 30 eggs retrieved. I've even seen 50 one time. Like, they hype up your ovaries to produce as many eggs as possible. And then they actually go in, retrieve the eggs, fertilize the eggs outside of my body, and then put a fertilized egg, which at that point it's called an embryo, back into me exactly in the spot that it would naturally be if we conceived naturally. Now, everybody's experience with IVF is different depending on their diagnosis or their hormone levels. So that will determine the specific medications that you're prescribed or the doses that you're prescribed. There's so much that could go into it. But the two main IVF procedures are the egg retrieval and the transfer. The egg retrieval is when they go in and get the eggs, and the transfer is when they have the embryo and they transfer it back into me. I'm not so nervous about the transfer, one, because it's so magical. At that point, you are pregnant until proven otherwise. You literally have an embryo in your belly. Like, that is so cool, and you know it. So that's why they call it pregnant until proven otherwise. And then you just pray and pray and pray that that embryo sticks and you progress throughout your pregnancy. It's super, super cool. I'm personally not super nervous about the transfer because it is very similar to that of an IUI. They go through the cervix into the uterus to transfer something into there. I'm used to that mechanism. I know basically what to expect with that, but of course I would love to know if you've done IUIs as well as a transfer, if they're pretty similar as far as what you've experienced. So for the egg retrieval, you're put under anesthesia for them to go in and retrieve the eggs. And that is so scary to me. One, it makes it feel like a massive deal, like you are literally going under for a procedure, so it makes it feel so much more intense. But it also plays into the first thing that I'm super anxious about as far as the egg retrieval goes. It's just the idea that I'm being put under and then on a table and exposed but unconscious, and I have zero knowledge or control as to what they're doing. It makes me very uneasy. I feel like I'm gonna tear up right now. That it just sounds so cold and insensitive, and like I'm just kind of an animal, like sitting on a table being operated on. Something about it just really, really gets me going. So that's something I'm definitely gonna bring up with my doctor as far as how much that makes me uncomfortable, and hopefully he has some words to just calm me down a little bit about that. But then the second thing that I'm also going to bring up with him, and the thing that is keeping me up at night as well, is not being taken seriously when it comes to pain management for this procedure. I've seen women that are offered pain medication after the procedure and they said it is life-changing and it makes the next day super comfortable. And that is best case scenario, because I've seen other women where their doctor basically said, yeah, just take Tylenol before it and you should be good. And it's just like you are literally putting me under to do something that clearly is too painful to be awake for, and snaking something through my body to then retrieve things from my ovary. It's just, why would I not want something stronger than Tylenol, or at least the option? And the thing is, I'm speaking as though my doctor told me that they wouldn't give me pain medication. That's what this anxiety does to me, is just convince me that this is the case, and it's just not yet. So I want to ask about pain management, and I want to make it clear that I do not just want to take Tylenol before and then hope for the best for this procedure. So if they don't offer pain medication after, can we at least call it into the pharmacy so I have it after the procedure with me and ready for me to take? Although I do think that there's a lot of anxiety attached to that fear of mine specifically, there's also a lot of reality behind it. This might get a little deep, and I would love to know if you've experienced this also in your journey, or just in general. I have found that women are not necessarily taken seriously when it comes to pain management for procedures. I've seen horror stories of women telling their personal experiences going to get an IUD inserted and not being told how painful that procedure is. And then for me with my IUIs, nobody told me to even take Tylenol before because some women experience severe cramping afterwards. Some women just get up and walk away like everything is fine. Some women experience cramping just during the procedure and then it immediately goes away when they're finished. I experience extreme cramping for about 30 minutes after, and taking Tylenol before would have really helped that, but no one told me. And I've never had anyone go through my cervix before, so I had no idea what to expect. So I think between those things there is some reality rooted at my fear of not being taken seriously when it comes to pain management. I just keep knowing and thinking going into this follow-up appointment, if he says that they don't typically prescribe anything other than just Tylenol for pain management, that I can request. And they aren't going to deny me the request. Like, they will not do that. And if they do, we're gonna have some words, but they will not do that for me. But yeah, I've been rambling for a little bit now about this, but you can clearly tell it's just been on my heart, so I really wanted to share it. If you all have any of your own experiences with egg retrieval that would make me feel better about these things that I'm afraid of, please leave them in the comments below, or anything that you resonated from my rant. I would so appreciate it. And then tomorrow I'm gonna get in the car with my mom, who doesn't like to be filmed, so we won't necessarily be vlogging a ton, but I know that we will be going to Dunkin', and I do know that their butter pecan flavor, I have never actually had that flavor, but people freaking rave about it, so I'm gonna taste test that tomorrow, and I'm gonna be really excited. And then we have Dingle After Dark tomorrow, so that's gonna be so much fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow.